This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight on the banks of the Allegheny, a weekend series here at PNC Park. Game number 1, it's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes here as well. Cardinals coming off a dramatic win yesterday at home, a terrific homestand overall. And we'll see if that carries over to this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully it carries over to this quick 3-game series here in Pittsburgh. And one of those teams that have really gone backwards in the standings, and so hopefully they catch them at the right time.
Cardinals and Pirates. Pirates got off to a great start. Cardinals were slow, and now that's been reversed. Tonight, Steven Brolt, the lefty, gets the call for the Pirates. Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals. Starting lineups in first pitch. It's next. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Barnes Jewish Hospital and Washington University Physicians, national leaders in medicine. Beautiful PNC Park is the scene. Yesterday, walk-off winners for both the Cardinals and the Pirates. 13th inning, Dexter Fowler. That scores Jose Martinez in a dramatic win for St. Louis. And the Pirates, they have won 2 in a row. And this is Corey Dickerson with a walk-off homer. 1-0 the final as they defeated the Detroit Tigers. The Pirates are 14-11. The Cardinals 15-9. Atop the NL Central with Milwaukee. Pittsburgh a game and a half out. It's just a brief, as Jimmy said, 3-game series this weekend at PNC. Tommy Pham will lead it off, followed by Dexter Fowler and then Jose Martinez. Marcell Ozuna will bat cleanup. Yadier Molina, Paul DeYoung, Jed Jerko, Colton Wong, and Miles Michaelis batting ninth. Steven Brault, the lefty, will turn 26 this Sunday. The Pirates have lost each of his last 3 starts, with Brault going 0-1. He's given up 11 runs in 16 2/3. The Hyundai pitch arsenal: fastball, slider, changeup, and curve. It's his breaking pitch that he struggles with. If he has it going early on, Jimmy, it could be very tough on the Cardinals.
He's a guy that throws a lot of fastballs for sure, and if he can mix in that off-speed stuff, yes, he's definitely going to be tough. And I like your energy tonight. It goes along with the loudness of the speakers right above our heads.
It's your first visit to PNC, and have this great view of the ballpark. We're high atop the field, and a look at the BJC Healthcare difference maker. And Tommy Pham leading now the National League at 368 with that batting mark. Big gap in left center. Cardinals have won 10 of their last 12, averaging 6 runs a game in those. And the first pitch, a ball, and we are underway. 66 degrees here in Pittsburgh. And the 1-0 pitch is tapped foul. Last 11 games for Tommy Pham. Over 500 average. It's 514 to be exact. He's walked 10 times. He scored 12 runs. Yesterday he was 4 for 6. The next pitch to Pham. Fouled back.
Danny,
and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's 4 for 6 in a game that most people might not have played in. And that's what's good about that. Like, you have to, as a veteran, learn to play the game and play it when you can. Like, you can't just take days off because, and look what he got rewarded with yesterday. He had a really great day at the ballpark and just a good feeling overall.
The 1-2 is hit to short. The veteran Jordy Mercer puts it away for the first out. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Dickerson in left, Marte in center, and Polanco is in right. Moran, Mercer, Frazier, and Bell along the infield. Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate. Here's Dexter Fowler batting in the second spot in the lineup. His last 5 starts, he's either batted 5th, 4th, 6th, 2nd, 5th, and today back into the second spot. I'll ask you, though, does it really matter?
You know what? It's weird. It really doesn't matter. I think sometimes it's a personal preference or an ego thing, but no, it doesn't matter. It does help a little bit to have a little rhythm with the flow of the game. You know you're going to hit in the first, or you know you're going to hit in the second. You know, every now and then you're going to bat around in the first inning, but that doesn't happen very often. So it's kind of it's nice to know that how the flow of the game is going to be. So yes, I would say it doesn't matter, but it's nice to have that feeling. But like everyone says, you're going to get pitched the same because you are who you are. Unless you're hitting 8th, I think you're going to get pitched the way you're supposed to get pitched, and you just got to get that stuff out of your head.
The 2-1 pitch to Fowler. Dexter from this side of the plate, switch hitter, of course, just 1 for 19 on the year. He's hitting 188. He popped 4 of his 18 home runs last year against the Pirates, and that's foul and out of play. Pittsburgh, a great sports town, as their fans are heavy into the NFL draft right now. And the Penguins, 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions, they're still in the playoffs. And still, it's a wait and see process right now with the Pirates, how things turn out. There's the first strikeout for Steven Brault.
Like a good 4-seamer right at the bottom of the zone. That's just pitcher's pitch, as they say. It's a good one right there.
Jose Martinez kept the Cardinals' hopes alive yesterday. With 2 outs, 10th inning, Tommy Pham had singled to keep the game alive. And then Martinez, a line shot off the wall in center that scored Tommy Pham. And then Martinez scored the winning run for St. Louis. It was his 7th double. Leads the team in that category. And a pitch taken just a bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. So yesterday, Martinez in a no doubles defense, and that's a Gold Glover out there. And Juan Lagares later said it was a little bit of a battle for the sun. Mickey Callaway said it just was a ball that was scorched. And there's a strike, 2-1. Big gap again in left center field. 2-2. Now Brault made the opening day roster. He was a reliever then, but now in the rotation in the place of Joe Musgrove. He's out with a shoulder injury, and they hope to see him return to the rotation in mid-May. The 2-2 pitch. Martinez bounces it right side to second baseman Adam Frazier. The Cardinals go in order. 1, 2, 3. Miles Michaelis to the mound when we come back. And he's been sensational so far at the start of 2018. For the St. Louis Cardinals, beat the Reds in his previous 2 starts, allowing an earned run in 7 innings in both those outings. The Hyundai pitch arsenal, and when he's got them all working, boy, he's tough. Fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup from the Cardinal right-hander. Here's Adam Frazier batting .233, and the first pitch is strike, and that's no surprise. Extremely efficient Miles Michaelis. He is second in the majors in both walk rate, 1.9%, and fewest pitches per plate appearance. It's under 4. The curveball tapped back to Michaelis, and he underhands to first baseman Jose Martinez, and there's one away. Clint Hurdle now in his 8th season as the manager of the Pirates. This is his lineup tonight with Frazier, Polanco, and Marte. Then Bell, Dickerson, Cervelli, Colin Moran, Mercer, and Brault. In steps Gregory Polanco, and there's a look at the always happy and smiling, optimistic Clint Hurdle, the manager of the Pirates. Polanco leads the Pirates in home runs with 5. but batting overall just .205. He's driven in 15. And a strike. Pittsburgh, they have won 2 straight after they dropped 5 in a row. And thus far here at PNC Park, 7-5 their mark.
You can see right there, he's just going to pound the strike zone. I mean, he's throwing everything right there to hit. I like playing behind a guy like this who's going to pitch to contact, but with good stuff. So the contact's not always going to be hard. Just put the ball in play and keep the game rolling. It's great to play defense behind guys like that.
2-2 the count on Gregory Polanco. And it's put in play to short. Paul DeYoung up with it. And 2 quick outs. Take a look at the Cardinals defensively tonight. Behind Michaelis, the trio in the outfield of Ozuna, Pham, and Fowler. This is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Jerko, DeYoung, Wong, and Martinez on the infield, and Yadier Molina, who's supposed to be a day off for Yadi, but it turned into nearly a full game.
Yep.
There's a look at Jed Jerko.
This is not ideal for the manager or for the catcher. Sometimes you want to give your horses a full day off, and that obviously didn't happen yesterday.
There's Starling Marte. He's now the everyday center fielder for the Pirates. Andrew McCutchen was traded to San Francisco. Garrett Cole, another huge deal for the Bucks in the offseason. He's now with the Houston Astros. Good pitch. In on his hands, and it's 0-2. Well, Marte has reached base in every game with the exception of 1. Already up to 8 stolen bases. That's back to Michaelis. Underhands to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Miles Michaelis. Ozuna, Molina, DeYoung coming up, and there's no score. Should we go with him? And Jim Hazy certainly did.
Dan, I got to tell you, Tommy Pham may be the world's most interesting man. Had a 4-hit game yesterday. Then afterwards, he gave credit to his therapeutic do-rag. Tommy told me he's wearing it to maintain pressure on a pad covering that welt on his forehead that he gave himself while getting ready to hit the other day. Tommy says it's there to keep the swelling down, and the only time the do-rag bothers him is on the base paths because his helmet keeps sliding off. But Dan, there is good news. Tommy says he can get rid of the do-rag in about 4 days. Tommy Pham is awesome.
Good stuff as always. You never know when you're going to need that do-rag. And
the therapeutic
do-rag. Do-rag.
Well, the reason why it's bothering him on the bases is because he's wearing a helmet that had to be at the next size up. So it's a little big. I told him he was going to be one of those guys that you see running down the line in the helmet, bobbling off, and be running without a helmet.
There it is. That's what you're talking about right there.
Stuff that goes on underneath those hulls down there.
Here's Yadier Molina, and he looks at a strike. You were telling me that you spoke to Tommy, I guess, 2 days ago in the Cardinal clubhouse, and you described it as being a considerable welt on the top of his head.
It's gone down a lot.
And a ground ball to Yadier Molina, or by Yadier Molina. That's 4 ground ball outs and a strikeout for Brault. Let's take a look at our Kubota power stats with Paul DeJong getting ready to dig in for the first time tonight. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, and in those 6 games, at least once in each of those, there's been an extra base hit. As a matter of fact, he has 25 hits this year. 13 of the 25 have gone for extra bases. He's popped 7 home runs. And the 1-0 pitch. You played a number of games in this ballpark. It seems to be, in terms of the hitter's background, one of the better backgrounds to look into for a hitter.
This place is as good as it gets as far as being on the field and sight lines and stuff, except in the middle of the summer, the first inning, top of the first, the sun casts a little bit of a shadow at times, and I think the top of the first can be sometimes a little sketchy. I remember Scott Rowland got hit in the head here. He had a hard time seeing the ball in the first inning.
A ballpark that opened back in 2001. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago. And St. Louis, a very good record, which includes postseason of 82-67 here at PNC Park. Two balls, 2 strikes on the Cardinals shortstop. Steven Brault came to the Pirates from Baltimore in 2015 for outfielder Travis Snyder. West Virginia native Jed Jerko on deck as DeJong gets underneath this one, and that's a big league pop-up. Jordy Mercer puts it away. Boy, he hit that a mile high. Coming up, Josh Bell, Corey Dickerson, and Francisco Cervelli. games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, stream the Cardinals. It's presented by T-Mobile. The switch hitting slugger, and that's Josh Bell. First pitch is strike. Only one home run thus far. That'll change, though. Pirates, just like many teams, have played in such cold weather. Had games in the 20s as they played in Detroit earlier this season. Very cold in Pittsburgh until recently.
Had to be one of the rougher starts to a season for the masses. Like, you know, sometimes it's cold in Detroit or cold here. It was cold everywhere.
Yep. That's handled by Martinez, and he steps on the bag for the out. He has some of the strongest jaws in all of sports, and that's Clint Hurdle.
That's funny. He is always chewing on that gum.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was amazing. I'm glad you could point that out for the people at home. That actually made me laugh out loud. You know, when you got to hit your cough button because your partner is saying something, that's saying something.
Here's Corey Dickerson. He had the walk-off hit yesterday. That was his first ever walk-off, and there's a base hit into right field on a hop to Dexter Fowler. And Dickerson held to a single.
Oh, going to hit off a guy like this. You better be ready to swing the bat. Go right up there and get whatever you can hit and swing at it. I think that just goes to show you right there, like hitting, for example, be ready to hit, and if you're balanced, it doesn't matter if it's a first pitch breaking ball because you're balanced and you see the pitch. You know, people always ask me, how did you hit that breaking ball? I was like, I don't know. You know, you just get into the zone and you just see the ball and hit it. And too many people are too worried about trying to hit certain pitches and just not really balanced for everything.
There's Cervelli with one out and a runner at first base. And that's a base hit into right field. Dickerson stopping at second base. Cervelli, the hottest hitter right now for the Pirates. He's batting near 400 in his last 12 games. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Good piece of hitting right there by Cervelli. Just ball kind of up and out over the plate. And didn't try to do anything special with it. Just hit it where it's pitched.
The 12 games at home for the Pirates, Colin Moran is hitting .441. He came over in the Garrett Cole deal. Runners at first and second. And the first pitch is strike. His uncle is B.J. Surhoff. In 1985, B.J. was the #1 overall pick. Rich Surhoff was a pitcher in the big leagues, and his older brother Brian is in the system with the L.A. Dodgers. Ooh. And he's hit by the pitch, and now the bases are loaded.
That is something that you're probably not going to see too often. A ball that far out of the strike zone. Kind of surprised everyone right there.
So back-to-back hits by Dickerson and Cervelli to right. Moran hit by a pitch. And here's Jordy Mercer. Hit safely in all of his games here at home. Very good glove man, the only shortstop in the game right now without an error. The first pitch misses low and outside. It's the first time that Michaelis has had a bases loaded situation this year. And it's popped up. Martinez with the catch. A big out here in the second inning.
That is a big out. That changes everything about your hitting when you can get that out on defense. But now the hitters don't have to come up with a big 2-strike hit here. That when you're playing defense behind a guy like this and you can make pitches like that, it takes a lot of pressure off of what you have to try and do with 1 out and the bases loaded. Now you get on the infield, you got to be careful. You don't want to give up a run, so you're trying to get the double play. But if it's not hit hard enough, you got to think about going home. Outfield, everyone's got to be worried about throwing the guy out at home on a fly ball.
Steven Brault, by the way, can swing the bat. He's 2 for 9 this year. He's had 31 career plate appearances, 7 for 30 with 0 strikeouts. Now, the last time that's happened for a pitcher, to have that many plate appearances and no strikeouts, you have to go back to the 1939 Detroit Tigers. Fred Hutchinson was the last to put up those numbers with no Ks. Bases loaded, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I say this all the time, but you have one heck of a memory from when you first started doing this.
It's I'll never forget that day when Fred finally struck out. It was a bit emotional.
We're going to put the Booth jinx to the test right here. See if we can't get a strikeout out of this one.
He puts it in play, backhanded by Michaelis, and with time, just got him by a step. Pitch is out of that bases loaded jam, and there's no score here at PNC. Buy Steak and Shake. Mix and match any 2 items for just $3. Better burgers, better prices, Steak and Shake. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery. With Steel, search STIHL. That is the view from our booth camera, high atop PNC Park. I'm not lying. That's us.
You're on fire today. I love it.
I love that view.
It is a spectacular view, and I was actually just taking a picture of it because I saw it on our camera. It's pretty. This is one of the best parks to sit and watch a game at. This is my first one, but
to sit and watch.
But it's fun.
Yeah, normally you're looking back at us in center field.
Uh-oh, got a little wind issue. Look at that.
They do say that there might be a little rain in the area, and now there's hot dog wrappers.
Looks more like a tornado just came through here.
That's unbelievable. It just started doing this.
Look at the flag.
20 seconds ago. Out of nowhere it came up. And the 1-0 pitch to Jed Jerko, who's batting .438.
Those flags literally just blew straight out to right, straight out to left, and now blowing out to center.
Get one in the air and see what happens. Jerko gets one in the air out to deep left field. At the wall, 1-0 Cardinals. Get the ball in the air and good things just might happen.
Pretty good call right there. Gosh, what just happened here? 20 seconds. It's amazing watching Jed Jerko with that quiet stance. Not too much body movement. Then he hits the ball in the barrel, the ball just jumps. Look at this. Sounds like he impressed a lot of people.
And now Colton Wong. Measured at, is this right, 437 feet? That can't be right.
No.
Can't be right.
Take it though.
104 miles per hour off the bat. I agree with that.
Just a couple miles an hour harder than the wind's blowing all of a sudden.
Really did. The wind just came out of nowhere. And the 3-0 pitch to Colton Wong. And he looks at a ball. So the first walk allowed by Steven Brault. And it brings in Miles Michaelis, who is 1 for 9 with a home run. That was in Milwaukee in his first start. He's got a pair of RBI and 1 sacrifice this year.
And he could swing the bat a little bit too.
Good athlete, as we've seen.
So you're saying he can't swing the bat, he's just a good athlete.
He could do a little bit of both. He could be a good athlete and swing the bat. And he's showing bunt here. There's strike 1. Jose Oquendo flashing the signs.
I think we talked about this earlier in the season too, and just with the Colton Wong walk really quick. The first 5 or 6 guys, he had a nice little slot down and into the righties. Didn't have to really cross up with any lefties. He kind of can get into like this easy pattern where you're just throwing the same stuff over and over. And I love when you throw a lefty in there because it, for some reason, changes the sights. A left-handed pitcher, now look what you got. You got a home run, the walk, and now the 1-1 count here, but you can see he's not as comfortable all of a sudden.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Michaelis squares to bunt. And pushed it foul up the first base line. And squaring again with 2 strikes. That time deadens it perfectly. Cervelli, his only play is to first base, and that puts Wong in scoring position. Second sacrifice for Miles Michaelis, and we're back to the top of the lineup.
It's a really nice job getting that bunt down, not trying to do too much. Just get in there and be comfortable and just try to get it in fair territory.
And here's Tommy Pham. He has driven in 8 this year. What do you think about Tommy being a leadoff man? Cardinals have tried clearly Dexter Fowler, Matt Carpenter, but now you get the speed and power of Tommy Pham.
What I like about the Pham leadoff situation is the energy level even on the outs. He swings the bat hard, he runs hard. It's just like a good starting spot for the team. If you can get him out there, and like I said, even in his outs are productive as far as energy.
And a high fly ball lifted out to deep right field. Polanco back, and it's off the wall. Colton Wong, he'll score easily to make it 2-0 Cardinals on the double by Tommy Pham. As you know, the wall here at this ballpark near the bullpen of the Cardinals and the chain link fence in right, which is the Clemente wall, if you will, 21 feet high. But that ball can get deadened off that chain link fence.
Take a look at it right here. It hits this ball down in the zone, and you watch right here, the carom off the wall. It just doesn't really do anything. Something you got to go out there and pay attention to in batting practice. But it is interesting because if that ball goes 4 or 5 feet to the left and hits that pad, it shoots off. You're going to have to be aware of that. If you're the center fielder, you have to be over there and be willing to help.
It's Ray Seards, the longtime pitching coach. The first mound visit of the night for either side. And so the double by Tommy Pham. He's now driven in 9 this year. There's a look at Ray. And Pham came in as the league leader in average at .368. Second in on base percentage. That's hit to the right side off the bat of Fowler. Bell steps on the bag. A 2-0 lead with the Cardinals on top. And a reminder that you can catch every game with MLB.tv. Allows you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, you like what you've seen here in the second inning from the Cardinals. Lefty-lefty matchup. Wong draws the walk. Michaelis gets down the bunt. And the double by Pham. It's good baseball.
Little disruption. Cruising along for a little bit. Bottom of the order. Disrupted the, I wouldn't know if you say momentum, but the cruise.
There's a 1-0 pitch to Martinez. Way outside.
That's the thing about baseball too, Danny, as you know, it's not just all about, you know, everyone wants to be a 4-hitter growing up or a 3-hitter. I mean, it's not all about just the 1 through 4 guys. It's the lineup has to produce over the course of the season. Everyone has to chip in every aspect of the game, and it's just to be a good team. That's what it's going to take. First 5 or 6 guys get out, the bottom of the lineup comes through. That jump starts the team. Now all of a sudden you got guys on base and you're back in the top of the lineup.
Boy, the wind is whipping again out to center field. The hot dog wrappers and the pieces of paper flying around the ballpark are everywhere in the stands.
Got a little mini candlestick going on out here for a
second.
Sure
does. And the temperature dropped, I'd say 5-10 degrees immediately.
There's rain all around us, but just not right in downtown.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. And that's taken low. The second walk issued by Stephen Brault. In steps Marcelo Ozuna. Stephen Brault is a California kid, born and raised just outside of San Diego. And he's the lead singer in a band called the Street Gypsies. And we were listening to some of his music prior to our first pitch tonight.
Yes, we were.
Runners at first and third. Marcelo Ozuna. I
like the tattoos. They were doing a thing about on him earlier in the day at the stadium, and he was talking about his tattoos, and he said, I don't really know what they are. They're just something I did.
He said, I'm not sure my parents like it, but I like them. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Ozuna. Ozuna, base hit into left field, and this will make it a 3-0 St. Louis lead. He drives in his 15th, and he's 1 for 2 on the night.
Starting to see that shorter swing from Ozuna. Starting to stay on the ball a little bit better. I think the combination between him a little bit pulling off and a little bit longer trying to get out in front of that fastball in the inner half got him a little bit of a slump. Slowly working his way back out of it.
And now Yadier Molina. That pitch down and in the dirt. Molina grounded to third his first time up. Cardinals got a solo home run from Jed Jerko to start the inning. Colton Wong drew a walk, sacrificed by Michaelis. Wong driven in on the double by Pham. Fowler grounded out, then a walk and a single. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. And you think about the Ozuna base hit to left. Boy, he went down to get that ball too.
Stayed short, let the ball travel. I believe it was a changeup. Hit the ball in the barrel.
The 2-0 pitch to Molina. And a high fly ball lifted out to right. And Polanco makes the catch, battling the wind here at the ballpark. We said, well, what would happen if he got one up in the air? There's your answer. Jed Jerko, his second of the season. 3-0 St. Louis. Quality starts. The Cardinals 5 in their last 6 games. Carlos Martinez yesterday, he went 6, and then the bullpen after that, very good. But you get good starting pitching. And in the last 12 games, the collective ERA of the Cardinals has been under 3. You got a chance to win. Young Cardinal fan here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
Got our little American Girl doll. Cardinal jersey, Cardinal shirt on. You know something about that.
Oh, I do. I actually had a birthday party at the American Girl store. I guess it's been 3 years ago or so, and I had the chance to sit down and have tea with 9 other 7-year-olds.
Your daughter's upset as my daughter is, and now the store is now closed?
Very much so. It's quite the sight.
I can imagine.
Me in a little chair with my American Girl doll and celebrating a birthday with my daughter and her friends and their American Girl dolls. And yes, I did the hair and the dresses and everything else with it. There's a fly ball out to left. Ozuna makes the catch. Well, Jimmy, you've been thinking a lot about this, but your Toyota key to the game.
What we see, it's pretty obvious. Makes his living inside the strike zone. A lot of pitches in the strike zone, works fast. Let's keep that momentum going. Keep throwing strikes, keep the defense on their toes. Try to sneak out of here with a win.
There's Gregory Polanco.
I can't imagine you sitting in that chair.
Like I said, it was quite the sight. I enjoyed it, though. It was a lot of fun.
They make an American Girl doll that looks like you?
No, they do not.
Dang it.
Headset and all. That pitch taken in. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Pirates are celebrating the 100th birthday of longtime usher Phil Coyne tonight. They actually have Phil 100 down the third base line. There it is. They said he had nearly 200 family and friends from all over the world make it to this birthday celebration. Ooh, he tied him up and he struck him out. And prior to his retirement earlier this month, Phil had been escorting fans to their seats since 1936. That was the same year the Baseball Hall of Fame inducted its first members. Honus Wagner, Babe Ruth, and they're actually going to take his security badge and some of his cards over the years and put it in baseball's Hall of Fame. So happy birthday to Phil Coyne. Here's Starling Marte. It's a ballpark that you can pick up triples. Big gaps, as you know, Jimmy, and Marte with his good speed already with 3 of those to lead the Pirates. Cardinals the only team in baseball without a triple. That's hit down the right field line and out of play. He has been more selective this year. 14 walks in 25 games. He had a total of 20 last year. For the year in 77, as Miles Michaelis has back-to-back strikeouts. We head to the 4th, and the Cardinals on top. Community Coffee teaming up with the Cardinals to bring fans $5 tickets. Cardinals host the White Sox, and that'll be after the off day on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And it's also good, those $5 seats, when the Twins are in town, May 7th and 8th. That's the next homestand. Cardinals.com/community coffee. Here's a 1-1. And Young hits it to the left side, taken there by Moran, and it's an error on Colin Moran, his second of the season. The first error on either side tonight.
Not sure what happened here. I think sometimes you just get a little complacent, or sometimes the ball hops up on you. Took his eye off it a little bit. It's that kind of the in-between hop, but that in-between speed where it looks like he almost glanced up to see how hard DeYoung was running. You see his head little pop up right there? It's kind of.
Ball wasn't hit all that hard.
You know the guy's hustling, falling out of the box a little bit because he's going out to get the ball. I'm going to take that little peek up and cost him an error.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Jerko homered back in the third. This is the first of 19 meetings this year as we take you back to the third inning. A solo shot for Jed Jerko. The Cardinals won 11 of the 19 games a year ago, and they won the season series for the 4th straight year. Now Jed Jerko now with 101 career homers, and he has 10 against the Pirates. Usually a lot of family and friends are here, make the trip from West Virginia, Morgantown to Pittsburgh.
About an hour and a half, I think is what Jed said yesterday.
Yep.
I'm standing out in front of the hotel yesterday with his bags, and I asked him if he's going home. He said, nope, just waiting for my family.
And it's 3-1. Already 57 pitches for the lefty Brault. Outside, and that's his third walk. So the first two have reached, and it brings in Colton Wong.
Kind of crazy how you're cruising along. Home run, walk, and all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of pitches piling up.
First two innings, the Cardinals did not hit a ball out of the infield. That ball scoots away, and the runners advance to second and third. So wild pitch charged to Brault, and a chance to add on for the Cardinals. Really struggles to keep the ball in the strike zone, as 45% of his pitches are in the strike zone, so he's under 50%. That gives you the idea that he can be a little bit wild. The infield is drawn in for the Pirates. Tyler Glasnow just got up, and the right-hander begins to throw. Here's a 1-1. 2 strikes. Miles Michaelis at the on-deck circle. That was already the 25th wild pitch against the Pirates this year. Most in Major League Baseball by far.
I was going to say it's got to be by a lot. Bring the infield in. See if they can't squeeze the run off at home.
And a fly ball lifted out to left field. That's Dickerson in left. Runner tags up. The throw to the plate, not in time. And Paul DeYoung scores on the RBI by Wong, his 5th of the season, and that makes it a 4-0 St. Louis lead.
Job right there by Wong, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. Nice hustle by Paul right there. He didn't really know where to go with that slide. He put himself in an awkward position. It's always nice when you have the guy on deck will hustle up there to kind of give you an indication if you're going to have to slide or not. Sometimes the pitchers don't do that very well.
I think Jerka was a little in between as to whether or not to go too. He had tagged up at second base. They don't hit the cut. He could have been at third.
Yeah, I thought Okendo was telling him to come, and sometimes when you get a coach that gives you too much, like throws you off a little bit, maybe he was thinking, he was kind of trying to read it, didn't know if he meant come or go or come or stay. But yeah, I think he was trying to draw the throw, and I think that 4th run is a big run for the Cardinals. But then I think obviously trying to get to third with 1 out is a big deal for an offense, and especially with the guy who can hit a little bit for a pitcher, make it easier to drive in that run.
The swing and a miss by Michaelis. Didn't look real comfortable with that swing. And so now 2 outs. And a runner at second. Little smile there for Tommy Pham. Pham grounded out to short. Doubled off the wall in the 3rd inning in right field. And then came around to score. Stephen Brault, I know you might be opening up a big door, but I'm not sure I want to pitch to Tommy Pham. First base open. I'd be real careful in this spot. He is red hot. And he looks at a strike.
Tommy's not liking that one.
And Pham bounces it into the glove of Brault, and he settles and underhands to first. The sac fly RBI by Wong. Cardinals add to their lead here in the city of Pittsburgh. With more on that, let's check in with the Cat.
Yeah, the Memphis shuttle was rolling along again today. John Gant, who pitched 3 scoreless innings yesterday and picked up the win, sent back to Memphis. Mike Myers, recalled from AAA. John Brebbia, who just picked up his first career save, was sent to Memphis yesterday to make way for Gant. It's all about options and keeping the bullpen stocked. Mike Matheny says it's not always a fair process. He told me News of getting option is never received well, but the best way to get back here is to put your head down, keep playing, and stay ready. Myers, by the way, a veteran of the Memphis Shuttle, told me there is a positive in all the back and forth. It's helped him become a more efficient packer. Although, Danny, he says right now he desperately needs to do laundry.
Well, you don't mind when the shuttle
coming north.
Yes, and you're going to the big leagues. Makes it a little easier.
Might want to keep guys from pitching 3 innings, that's for sure.
And pitching well.
2 guys in a row pitch 3 innings and see ya.
One to save, the other one gets the win.
They might want to give those back to stay in the big leagues, though you never know.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And a late swing. That's 3 strikeouts in a row from Michaelis. Let's take a look at the Kia drive to success. Miles Michaelis now with 3 strikeouts. And here's what we were talking about before. The highest strike percentage among starters. 70.5, and that leads all of baseball. Here's Corey Dickerson, who singled to right back in the 2nd inning. As you talked about, Jimmy, I mean, you're an infielder, you're in the outfield, you're in the game. He doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. Gets the sign, and it's ready to roll. It's how the game is supposed to be played.
But you can't really ask for anything more. You don't have any control of what's going on out there on defense other than your effort. And you can't ask for anything more than play behind a guy who works quick, throws strikes.
Nothing in 2 the count. That pitch was up. How about this? Looking back at my notes and previous scorecards that I've had, I dug this little gem up. Michaelis has not had a 3-ball count to the last 38 hitters he's faced.
That's efficient.
That is efficient. Little tapper that will roll foul. Miles Michaelis, his wife, is featured in the recent edition of Cardinals Magazine. They do a really good job with that team publication. And they talked about, in particular, she wrote penned the piece and what the experience was like in Japan, and she became a celebrity over there. Very interesting.
Saw that. It was a very interesting article.
But I'm not going to give it away, all the secrets. You have to get your Cardinals Magazine.
Go buy the book.
Get the magazine.
Go watch the movie.
That's right.
Give away the punchline.
0-2 is a fair ball. Yachty pounces on that for the out. And there's 2 away. Join us on May 1st. That's the upcoming Tuesday. Cardinals take on the White Sox. And that day, 30,000 fans take home a Cardinals decal featuring Wainwright, Molina, Fowler, or Carlos Martinez. Courtesy of Shelter Insurance. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Francisco Cervelli with 2 outs and nobody on. The Pirates won 1-0 yesterday. There have been 14 games that have ended in that score this year in baseball. 14. We're not through April. There was a total of 29 of those a season ago. The strikeouts are up. The pace of play is down by about 4 minutes. Interesting, though, 35% of the at-bats in all of baseball have resulted in a walk, a strikeout, or a homer. 35%. The 2-1 pitch. And now 2-2. I'm sure any pitch that's up and into Cervelli, he's a little gun shy. He's been hit a couple of times on his wrist and the hand, and he actually has a special bat I'm going to talk about tomorrow that he uses with a bat maker from St. Louis to help protect the hand. The 2-2 pitch. He spins away again. And finally a 3-ball count for Michaelis. 3-2 the count. Snaps it at 39.
Funny you talk about how the games are 1-0, and I feel like talking about strikeout, walk, or home run. I'm thinking the ball is juiced a little bit, the weather is cold, and the guys are throwing hard.
That's it. And there's a base hit into right field. So the 2-out hit for Cervelli, who's 2 for 2.
A good job of hitting by Cervelli. Same ball up in the zone and just try to stay inside it.
Here's Colin Moran. Was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. And then that loaded up the bases for Jordy Mercer. He came in with 1 out, bases loaded. Michaelis got a pop out and then a ground out by the pitcher. I'll be honest, after watching Miles Michaelis in his first 2 starts of spring, and I was there from day 1 until the end, I did not expect this. Now again, I understand it's spring training, guys are doing different things to get ready, but we hadn't seen what he was all about. All we knew is he went to Japan and remade himself. And there's a ground ball that's handled by Martinez, but I love what I see now. Terrific. Talk more about that when we come back. It's 4-0. And Jerko against a left-hander, and he's been on base twice tonight. Here's Dexter Fowler in inning number 5. 2, 3, and 4. Fowler, Martinez, and Ozuna. So Carpenter on the bench with Greg Garcia, Harrison Bader, Tyler O'Neill, Francisco Pena. We'll see Jack Flaherty in his second start tomorrow. And Jim will have more on that start. Jim Hayes next inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's pulled foul. Two and 2. Fowler has struck out looking and also grounded out to first. On a play. And now the 2-2 pitch. A called third strike. Our Chevy Fox Tracks and the third strikeout for Steven Brault.
He's been hitting that pitch down and in so much. A couple of change-ups away. Start trying to guess with him, and then you see what happens. It throws a straight fastball away, and maybe Dexter was thinking about that down and in.
Jose Martinez comes in with 18 driven in this season. That's good enough for 6th currently in the National League. What a story he has become.
It's been amazing. Amazing to watch.
A big gap in left center. And that's out to deep left field. Dickerson back. And it's off the wall. Martinez will trot into second base. Boy, what was that? Maybe a foot or 2 away from getting over the wall. As my partner says.
He needs to hit the weight room.
Yeah, you started doing the push-ups and the bench
That's
press.
what I would be doing if I was in the dugout right now. It's a pretty good swing. It's 2 missiles, 2 days that are about 2 or 3 feet from being homers.
109 off the bat. It's now a 5-game hitting streak for Martinez, and here's Ozuna. And that's up the middle, a base hit. Here comes Martinez. The throw by Marte to the plate is offline, and with that it's a 5-0 Cardinal lead. Ozuna has driven in 2.
You see that slide? Got to hit the weight room, and then we got to work on the slide. It's a good swing. Ozuna's about to get hot. His swing is getting shorter and shorter. We all know he's got power. Starting to hit the ball harder and harder. See how short that swing is, stays inside it. Then we cap it off with this slide. It's right now. He's saying to himself, everyone in America just saw that.
Well, essentially the man on deck becomes a base coach as to whether or not to slide at the plate, and it looked like they gave him the slide sign maybe a little late, so he was kind of in between. Do I stand up? Do I slide? And then eventually did slide, and with that it's 5-0. That's Kyle Crick. Right-hander getting loose. And a pitch in the dirt to Yadier Molina.
That little thing for the on-deck circle, that's a big part of the game too. You got to get out there and let your guy know. You can get guys hurt. They don't know whether to slide or not. That's really your job when you're on deck. Pay attention to the game and help the runners out that are scoring.
And now Yadier Molina. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch count at 78. This will be it for Steven Brault, I would assume, one way or another. Down by 5, and his spot due up second in the lineup for the Pirates. You know, you take a look at how the game has been played tonight. The Cardinals have done some little things that have added up. Michael getting the bunt down, taking walks, taking an extra base on throws.
Sacrifice fly, big part of this game.
Capitalized on an error. The 2-1 pitch to Yadier Molina. 2-2. Molina tonight grounded out to third and also flied out to right. Outfield is straight away. The 2-2 is hit out of play. Molina historically has been very consistent in this regard. Very tough to strike out. Puts the ball in play. This day and age in which strikeouts are piling up, he's gone against the norm for the most part.
Does a really good job of shortening up his swing and trying to really put the ball in play, especially to right field.
Rips that to third. And Moran makes the play, and Ozuna safe back at first. The Phillips 66 ticket vouchers are back. They're better than ever. Fill up at Phillips 66, 8 gallons or more, and you can get a voucher for up to 50% off on up to 8 tickets to a Cardinals home game. And for more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Kyle Crick will be the Chevy call to the pen, and it's 5-0 Cardinals with 2 outs here in the top of 5. With the Andrew McCutchen deal, our Chevy called to the pen, and the first batter he'll face is Paul DeYoung. Started out the season at AAA, which is Indianapolis, their AAA affiliate. He was a big-time prospect at one point with the Giants. From Sherman, Texas. And the ball scoots away, but Ozuna stays put. Last year made 30 appearances for the Giants. 49th overall selection back in 2011. The 2-0 pitch. And it's 2-1. Now DeYoung has faced this right-hander. He's 0 for 2. 3-1.
It's almost got like a natural cut.
Yeah.
It's got an average velocity about 94 to 95, and with a little cut to it makes it tough. Sometimes guys throw like a natural football where everything just kind of spins and runs a little bit away. Right-handers throw the ball that runs away from a righty. It's not natural, not normal to see that as a hitter. Sometimes the sight of the ball spinning can kind of throw off your thought process of how you're going to approach it. Not used to seeing it like a football spinning away from you.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ozuna off with the pitch, and DeYoung strikes out. The Cardinals add to their lead with the RBI single from Ozuna. It's 5-0. Jim Hayes. Jimmy, what do you have?
Dan, our Budweiser What's on Tap this. Jack Flaherty is here in Pittsburgh, but he won't officially be recalled from Memphis until tomorrow when he starts for the Cards. Mike Matheny says he can't wait to see Flaherty pitch. Mike told me Flaherty is constantly adding things to his arsenal, like mixing up the break on his pitches. Mike said he can attack either side of the plate, and he's constantly improving. Dan, I'm looking forward to that start as well.
Yeah, not only is it a good slider, the Cardinals have talked about it being an elite wipeout slider, which we saw in the 9 strikeouts against Milwaukee. The batter is Jordy Mercer. He sends a fly ball out of play. It's turned into a chilly night here at the ballpark. Max Moroff will pinch hit for Brault. He's at the on-deck circle. And the 0-2. A swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Miles Michaelis.
Been trying to use that high fastball. Getting some guys out. You see Yachty sometimes putting the glove up there, and sometimes he's just throwing it up there.
Max Moroff is the pinch hitter for Crick, who got the final out in the top half of this inning. We're seeing more and more, though, the strikeout that's up in the zone. Pitchers are trying to eliminate to an extent the launch angle. You'll see not just one pitcher, but maybe the feeling of an entire staff. You know, the approach is to throw up in the zone with fastballs, and Miles Michaelis has that ability with an upper 90s fastball.
And that's happening more and more because of the guys that have velocity.
That's hit down the right field line and a foul ball.
That ball was blistered.
Yes, sir. He had a walk-off home run against the Cardinals a year ago. Could play all three infield positions. And the 2-1 pitch. 2-2. We talked about the 3-ball counts, and rarely does Michaelis go to that. When he does, opponents hit .429 against him. Meanwhile, when it's not a 3-ball count, it's just .227.
Maybe that's why he doesn't go to a 3-ball count, Danny.
I would say that's probably part of the reason why. It's fun to watch, though. He's crafty in a lot of ways.
I like right there what he did. Threw a fastball middle in, missed a little bit. Homer foul. Came right back after him with a little cutter, and then right there again.
With strikeout number 5 and 2 in a row to start the 5th inning.
Not really shying away from throwing strikes in the zone like we talked about earlier. It's a good curveball right there.
He signed a 2-year deal with the Cardinals. Many teams had interest in Michaelis, looking at video from his time in Japan, using the analytics and how it would play here. The fact that he had reinvented himself. So he signs for 2 years, and if he has 2 good years, he gets another bite at that big apple, which is free agency.
That's a big apple nowadays.
You bet. 1 ball and 1 strike on Adam Frazier. The last 45 hitters that Michaelis has faced, he hasn't walked any out of them. He's been that good. The 2-1 pitch. And it's popped up left side, racing after it to Young. The shortstop wants it and has it. 5 innings in the books. 3 of those have been 1, 2, 3. Miles Michaelis has been efficient yet again. No walks. He's allowed just 3 base hits And Miles has struck out 5 on the night. The Cardinals have a lead of 5-0. 5 runs on 5 hits. And the new pitcher in is Tyler Glasnow for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Moroff stays in the game and he'll play second base. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. It was a 5th round selection in 2011. There's a look at Moroff. Glasnow made his major league debut in 2016. He's got a good fastball. You just saw it there at 97. Last year went 2-7. Made 13 starts and 15 appearances overall. Jerko is 1 for 1 against this right-hander, and that one hit a home run. As that one caught Francisco Cervelli. The umpire giving him a chance to catch his breath. And speaking of a home run, Jed hit his 2nd of the year back in the 3rd inning, and he's also walked. Tough position.
I was going to say, it's almost like a thankless job.
99 was sink and run. The strikeout of Jed Jerko. Colton Wong will dig in, and Nurses Night returns in 2018, and that's the item that nurses will get. You can choose from the day game, that's on May 8th, or the night game, May 21st. Either way, special theme ticket, scrub jacket, Cardinals.com/theme. The strike to Colton Wong, who has walked and scored. As a sac fly to left and an RBI, his 5th of the year. Jimmy, would you like to add a scrub jacket to your collection?
Not sure where to go with that one.
Well, I can. All you have to do is answer yes or no, and if the answer is yes,
I would love one. Yes.
Then you'll have one.
Seems I'm already a scrub up here in the booth with a professional like you.
No. You're not a scrub. You're a Cardinals Hall of Famer, and we're just lucky to have you with us. It's been a lot of fun. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Cardinals over the years have had some wild games at this ballpark. The comeback wins. You think about the playoffs a few years ago, facing elimination. And Michael Wacha was sensational. There's a base hit. And Wong is on base for the 2nd time. I think about Gerald Perry getting in a fight with Dave Duncan.
Oh, yeah. I was down in right field when that started. That was at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
There was no one in the stands.
We were down on the field doing interviews.
Yeah, just like, what the heck?
There's Michaelis to square in bunt.
I forgot who I was talking to one day, but someone that was here, and we had brought up Pittsburgh, and he literally said, we used to hate you guys, like angry hate. And I said, why? And I was like, not like we were ever rough. And he said, we couldn't beat you. And it's so funny that, like, I don't know if I would call it animosity but he said literally hate.
I think I have an answer.
Hated playing against us, hated all of us.
That's the #1 reason, is that your teams would win, and not only win but dominate.
We had a lot of homers here.
And a lot of home runs. As the runner goes, that's Colton Wong, and he is out.
Thought he slowed down a little bit.
He sure did.
I don't know if I thought he got a really good jump too, to see what happened at the end.
You know, sometimes the Cardinals will show bunt and then have the pitcher swing, which may have been the case here.
It's like he got a really good jump, and then, yeah, he just slowed down just a tad.
And if he doesn't, I think he's safe.
almost looked like he got caught up trying to get his feet right to slide.
He was in between.
Be curious to see if he ran when he ran. If we had a over the top view, he actually ran inside toward the grass, and then when he looked up, he saw the player. Sometimes when you're running and you're running hard, you put your head down and you look up and you kind of run at a little bit of an angle, and then you're literally running into the infielder. And so you have to change direction a little bit and catch up with your feet to time the slide. And it almost looked like right there, that's kind of what happened.
Here's Tommy Pham after the walk to the pitcher, Michaelis, as Wong was caught stealing on that.
It's like your brain's telling you you're running hard and your body's not allowing it.
And a fastball down to Tommy Pham. That day with Gerald Perry and Dave Duncan, Jim Hayes had just sat down Tony La Russa to do an interview. And the commotion is going on. Yeah. And the commotion is going on, and Tony hops up out of the chair. And the reason why I think teams, and it wasn't just Pittsburgh, I do hear it from a lot of other former players and various teams in the Central. Number one, the Cardinals won. And number two, the Cardinals had great villains. Tony La Russa is a great villain. If you're on the opposite side, he would drive you crazy.
So many people used to ask about how he was, and I said, you wouldn't believe how awesome he was to play for.
Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Full day of baseball tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest and FS1. Cardinals continue their series with the Pirates here on FS Midwest. And coverage starts at 5:30. FS1 doubleheader, Diamondbacks and Nationals, followed by the Yankees and Angels. That's at 7, and all the games are also streaming on the Fox Sports Go app. Here's Gregory Polanco, and he's 0 for 2. And the 0-1 lifted in the air to right center, and a long home run. Gregory Polanco with his 6th of the year.
Little BP sinker. Ball was hit. Ball just down a little bit, but kind of like that. Call it BP sinker for a reason. The guy either rolls over or he smashes it. Pretty good swing right there by Gregory Polanco. Some young talent here still. These guys can put it together in a hurry. You never know what they're capable of.
See Michaelis go from 87 to 78 to 90 to 95 in a sequence in one of the plate appearances tonight against the Pirates. The change of speed changes the eye level, speeds up a bit, slows it down. It's pitch making. It's fun to watch. The 1-2 as Marte pulls it foul.
I always thought that guys that pitch like this have a lot of guts. Not the right word that I would use, but guts. Because I feel like it takes a lot of that to not throw your best pitch every time. And what I mean by that is taking a little bit off of your fastball and having the confidence to throw it and know that it's not everything you had, or a slower breaking ball or a smaller cutter, or just you're almost inventing pitches. And so I always felt like if you're not throwing your best stuff out there, you have to have a lot of confidence in what you're doing. And it's kind of what he does when he goes out on the mound.
Over in Japan, contact is essential. You know, you pitch to contact. The players over there, they say, well, you know, home runs are nice, certainly, and balls in the gap, but strikeouts are not a part of what they want in their game. And Michaelis had to pitch to contact, essentially, and you just don't see that a lot in today's game. A pitcher is out there to strike them out.
Guys are trying to pitch around contact.
Tough play here. The speed of Marte beats it out down the line, but really well done by Jed Jerko to even make that close. So the infield hit for Starling Marte.
Take a look at this play. This is a great play by Jed Jerko. You have a guy that doesn't run so well. This might be an out. He knows he has to hurry, so then the throw's offline a little bit. He has like another second. Throws that ball down. It's all about that speed factor. You know when a guy's running hard, you got to hurry, and throws off everything that you're trying to do out there on the field.
That was Roland-esque.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Kind of sliding to his right, popping up.
Except for Scott throws that ball from his knees.
Yes. And on a line.
Well, and that's the thing about Scott. Why he was so good is he knew that guy was fast. And he knew he had no chance to stand up and throw. So you might as well get it out of your glove as quick as you can. Just stuff like that separates the very good players from the elite, as you say, players.
There's Josh Bell, the switch hitter. 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to first and struck out swinging back in the fourth. Home run to start this inning by Polanco, 427 feet. Then the infield hit by Marte, who has 8 stolen bases this year. Ground ball off the glove of Martinez. Wong sliding for it. He'll fire to third, but not in time. What could have been a sure 1 out, maybe a double play, and it turns into a hit. I'm not sure how that's a hit for Josh Bell, but it is. That's the ruling.
It's called home field advantage. Sometimes being 6'7" has its disadvantages. Just wasn't able to get down there quick enough.
The batter is Corey Dickerson, who is singled to right. Also grounded out in front of the plate in a ball that was Picked up by Molina. Dominic Leone throwing in the Cardinals' pen. Pitch count only at 81 for Miles Michaelis. He was able to pitch out of trouble back in the second inning. And we'll see if he can't do that here in the sixth. 5-1 our score, and still nobody out. Hitting .389 in this spot with runners in scoring position. And he has been one of their hotter hitters. 8 for his last 20 that followed in 0 for 12. And a strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. In the air, out to left. Ozuna backing up. Makes the catch. Runner will tag up. Bell will stay put at first base. Run scores to make it 5-2. Brings in Cervelli, who's 2 for 2, couple of base hits to right. And a pitch taken high. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Pirates came into the inning trailing 5-0. Leadoff home run by Polanco. Marte an infield hit. Bell a base hit off the glove of Jose Martinez, and the sac fly and RBI for Dickerson. Ground ball, double play ball. Out at second, the turn by Wong, and there's 2. Cardinals turn the double play. Pirates pick up 2 runs. 5-2 as we head to the 7th. Donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Earlier today, it was the Cubs 3, the Brewers 2 at Wrigley. Yu Darvish struck out 8 in 6 innings, and Brandon Morrow struck out 2 for his 6th save of the season. That pitch in the dirt to Dexter Fowler. Twice he's been called out on strikes, and he also grounded out to first. A shift on the right side of the infield, and the 1-0 is hit up the middle, backhanded. And Fowler, the first man retired for Glasnow here in the 7th.
Injury or illness should never interrupt childhood. St. Louis Children's Hospital, guardians of childhood.
Along with Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. Jose Martinez has grounded to second. That was in the first inning. Walked in the third and doubled and scored in inning number 5. Outfield is straight away and deep. And the first pitch to him. A strike. I've yet to hear of a player, current or former, that says, I don't like playing at this ballpark. Everybody says they love it. It's fair, the skyline, all of it. To the count. Ali Marmol had a couple of words for the first base umpire tonight. That's Gabe Morales. And the 0-2 pitch to Jose Martinez. Breaks his bat. There's Mercer, off balance throw, and the stretch by Bell. And there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Nice play here by Mercer.
He gets this ball off the end of the bat. Talk about getting rid of the ball. He wanted to set up right here, but didn't. Just got to get the ball over there. Good play by Jordy Mercer.
With 2 outs, Marcelo Zuna. Ozuna hits it fair and off the third baseman's glove. That's Colin Moran. Thinking 2, and this will be his 3rd hit of the night. So 2 singles. He's driven into. And now a double with 2 outs. Plaza Tire Fox Tracks.
Another one of those breaking balls in the first pitch, and good balance allows him to stay back and hit it. Shoots it right past the third baseman.
Seems like overnight that swing has shortened up.
Yeah. I think he started it yesterday a little bit. You could see it each at bat.
So 2 outs and a runner at second base, and here's Yadier Molina. And Molina shoots it out to deep right field. Polanco back, spun around, and makes the catch. Time to stretch here at PNC. It's 5-2 St. Louis. Our score is 5-2. Michael is still in the ball game for St. Louis. Tell me what you're seeing with the swing here of Marcell Ozuna.
I think, for one, I definitely look how short he is. But two, look at his shoulders. They're staying square a lot longer. Going towards the pitcher more than before. The shoulders were spinning a little bit and the bat was dropping. Sometimes when you lunge forward, but with the open shoulder, it causes that bat to drop. And right now, it's just he's staying straight up right there. Even though he's got a little bit of an open stride, the shoulders still need to go straight ahead. He's doing a good job of that tonight. And I think that's something that he found. They've been working on it, but I think he started to feel it yesterday.
Yeah, you mentioned it. A couple of at bats. The game against the Mets, you saw, you know, some steps in the right direction, at least to what you're talking about.
And the way he's done it is not the way you want to have to do it. He's done it with some two-strike hits, and that almost forces you to shorten up a little bit. And when you have two-strike success, you start to find something.
When you think about where Mike Matheny is in this game, trying to squeeze maybe one more inning out of Michaelis, as his spot is due up fourth for the Cardinals, looking ahead to the 8th inning. Pitch count at 89. And then you think about the 8th and the 9th. And the 9th, if it's a save situation, you may see Greg Holland. 4 straight scoreless outings, 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk for Greg Holland. And this may be the time that you start to see him get back and close games out. Talk about how efficient that Michaelis has been this year. Here's a 1-2 pitch. He's had back-to-back starts with 7 innings. And the first of those 7-inning starts, 83 pitches. The second was 85, and tonight it's up to 92. The 2-2 pitch. Strikeout number 6 for Michaelis. Plaza Tire Service replay.
Like that was a little backup cutter. A little spin on that ball, and as a hitter, you see the spin first, and you try to react to where it's going to end up. Doesn't end up where you think it is. You see swings like that.
Here's Jordy Mercer.
That's the same pitch right there.
If Miles can finish the inning, 3 straight starts of 7 innings. Only 5 other pitchers have done that this year. Have 3 consecutive starts with 7 or more innings. That's lifted into right near the line. Dexter Fowler. That's out number 2. Saturday, May 5th, make your furry friend happy. Take home a special Cardinals pet treat jar. That's available upon gate entry. 30,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. That's May 5th. Not only do you take home the jar, but Norris loves it, but you'll see the Cardinals and the Cubs. So with 2 outs, Max Moroff is the batter. He struck out back in the 5th inning, then stayed in the game.
I'd like to get one of those pet jars and make a nice candle out of it.
Is that right?
I would.
So we've got you
cardinal candle with Purina on the back.
You're gonna be walking around your domicile with your nurse's scrub top and a candle.
You got me there. You caught me off guard with that one.
I saw the mystery jersey the other day that featured an outfield of Ron Gant, Ray Lankford, and Brian Jordan.
I like that. I liked it. I took one home.
It's a mid-90s outfield of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's the 0-2, and he does not go after it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Was that Gant? Langford,
and Jordan.
and Jordan.
Yep.
How's that for an athletic outfield?
It's pretty good. I think Ron Gant, it was 1996. The Cardinals went out and spent a lot of money. It was the first year of the ownership group, which was in 95, going into 96. And they signed Gary Gaetti, if memory serves correct, Andy Bennis, and Ron Gant. Ron Gant had 25 home runs that season, and the Cardinals went back into postseason play under Tony La Russa. And the final out and wrapping up the division was here in Pittsburgh. The fly ball that was caught by Brian Jordan, I believe, in right field.
You know what would be amazing? For you to do a 30-minute show, I'm not kidding, with Mr. DeWitt, and talk to them and ask him about what their thought process was buying the club and where they wanted to go, because clearly they changed the culture of this organization.
No question.
I mean, I'm not saying that they did anything to change like the way the Cardinals have always been good, but like almost like they made an effort right then and there to change. They wanted to win, and they went after players. They brought in Tony, grabbed Mark, and then started kind of moving forward as a big shift in 2000.
Well, I thought
just kept rolling.
The defining moment in turning it around, and all those things that you mentioned are very important. I mean, getting Tony La Russa was huge, but Mark McGwire hitting 70 in 1998, you had people coming to the ballpark, people coming back to the game, and they then in turn reinvested into the product. We'll talk more about that as Michaelis picks up the strikeout. 2 in the inning and 7 tonight for Miles Michaelis. MLB moments happen. Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, going further so you can. We're at the top of the 8th. And the batter will be Paul DeYoung, followed by Jed Jerko and Colton Wong. Our score is 5-2. Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead and now lead at 5-2. Walt Jocketty did a remarkable job back there in the late 90s, early 2000s. But the year of 2000, the Cardinals go back into the playoffs, and a team that featured my partner Jim Edmonds, you had Fernando Vina, Dave Veers, Pat Henkin, Mike Matheny, all brought in. And to the DeWitt's credit and the front office with John Mozeliak, things changed, and the landscape of how you acquire players was different too. You know, the mid 2000s became more of, okay, We're not going to be able to just give up prospects to go out and get a Jim Edmonds or a Mark McGuire. There's the strikeout of DeYoung. It was about basically developing and drafting talent. And the Cardinals, there was nobody better for a good 3 to 5 year stretch than St. Louis. And you saw those results, you know, starting in 2011 and after that. So with one out, here's Jed Jerko. And a strike, our Nissan drive of the game. The Cardinal third baseman, with the wind swirling here at the ballpark for about 5 to 10 minutes. He took advantage of it and knocked it over the wall in left. And the Cardinals now are trying to be very innovative in terms of nutrition, sleep, how to keep players on the field and fresh. They're looking at all different ways to do that. So much so they've even gone over and looked at rugby teams, teams that play Australian rules football, you know, guys that get beat up a lot, how to keep them fresh, what do they do, just anything to try to get an edge. As Jerko strikes out, back-to-back Ks.
Hard slider right there. Hasn't thrown a lot of them. He throws hard, ball moves, good breaking ball. It's like every pitch that comes out of his hand is different in a big way, not just a little bit.
Do you think anything was up there with Michaelis in terms of that visit at the very end of last inning? I know it looked like his spike may have caught. Hopefully it wasn't something that was uncomfortable for him, or was it just about to, you know, talk about the situation? I've not seen the medical team go over and visit with him, so hopefully it was just Mike Maddox saying, hey, here's the situation.
Yeah, and I also think too, it's a good spot to remind your pitcher to not let the situation get out of hand. Because you're up 5-1, you got a guy on third. It's okay if he scores, as long as you keep those other guys getting on base and scoring too.
Strikes out the side, and it's 5-2. Out of their pen, working as a closer, and tonight he'll get the 8th inning. Already his 13th appearance, 20 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings. Those 20 Ks, the 6th best among National League relievers. And he's part of our Chevy call to the pen, the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Norris. A few ways to look at this is that Dominic Leone was up earlier, so you know that they weren't thinking about him as being a closer tonight, even though that was talked about coming out of spring training. Norris pitching here in the 8th. Certainly an easy inning. You could extend him to. But I think what this is going towards is that Greg Holland is your closer tonight.
We're trying to set up this bullpen eventually and get these guys comfortable in their roles. That will be the final outcome with a healthy bullpen. So yeah, you want to try and go out there and maybe in the 6th inning, 7th inning, tell these guys, well, we're going to try this now, and we're going to see if you got the 7th, you got the 8th, and you got the 9th. And you know, your 7th inning guy gets up, gets warm. Starting pitcher gets through the 7th, so you can back him off a little bit. Now you save him for tomorrow. Throw your 8th inning guy out there if needed, which turns out to be right here, and get him an inning and on to the 9th inning guy.
There's Gregory Polanco's solo home run back in the 6th. For Michaelis, another 7 innings and 2 runs allowed in this game. And he's looking at going to 4-0. For Polanco, that was his 6th home run back in the 6th inning. Bud has got that real nice sharp slider that he can put away.
Good short arm, good velocity on the fastball. The slider, like you said, is tight.
And it's 2-1.
Little cutter right there, maybe. It's interesting too. He throws more fastballs to the lefties, a little bit more cutter and slider to the righties. And rarely you'll see the changeup to a left-hander, but like I said, he comes in and throws strikes, good velocity, and like that tight slider.
The 2-1 pitch, and a base hit into left.
Gregory Polanco is not impressed. Good young talent, huh?
Still waiting for him to put it all together. And we've mentioned this a bunch, but the comparisons were Gregory Polanco and Oscar Taveras at the time.
Well, when you see a guy like this hit a home run to right and then smash a base hit to left, I think that's kind of giving you an idea of he's got that talent. It's hard to do both, you know, be the home run hitter and then drive the ball the other way. So start to put it together. When you start to do stuff like that, you're definitely on the rise.
There's Starling Marte, and that's hit out of play. He's grounded back to the pitcher, struck out, and an infield hit, a run scored back in the 6th.
These guys are all still so young. When we forget, you basically watch these kids grow up in the big league level, at the big league level. I mean, it takes you till you're 26, 27, 28 to kind of start to put it together and figure it out. Still might take a while to actually, once you figure it out, to really keep it all year long. Just when you think you have it figured out, it changes on you a little bit, or season becomes a grind, or you get a little injury and go start over. It's a tough game, play 6 months straight.
Crowd tonight, 15,748. 15748. Slowly hit towards Jerko. He'll get the lead man. A no throw there by Colton Wong. And that's out number 2. With the switch hitting, Josh Bell 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, and also grounded out. Josh Bell and Paul DeYoung put together tremendous rookie campaigns. And if not for Cody Bellinger, either one could have been the Rookie of the Year of the National League. So 2 outs and a runner at first. And Bell pops it up. Playable for Jed Jerko. Backing up a bit, and he makes the catch. Nice work by Bud Norris. 9-pitch inning. And the Cardinals have the lead 5-2. is Richard Rodriguez. And his contract purchase from AAA back on the 13th. So Chevy called to the pen. And he's been holding the opponent scoreless in 3 of his 4 appearances. Here's Matt Carpenter to pinch hit. And sends a high fly ball into center. Backing up Marte. And he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Tommy Pham, a 1-for-4 night. A double off the wall in right. A run scored. Twice his hit back to the pitcher and also grounded out to short. And there's strike 1. It's the first of 19 meetings between the Cardinals and Pirates. Dexter Fowler at the on-deck circle. Tommy came into the ball game leading the National League in hitting. 2nd in on-base percentage. 2nd to Rhys Hoskins. So he started the ball game batting .368. And the 2-2 pitch.
Get some people's attention in a hurry.
Oh boy.
With a few of those pitches. Not good attention either.
The strikeout of Tommy Pham. And a pitch in the dirt to Dexter Fowler. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. It's the Paul DeYoung jersey. And I believe that was the Players Weekend jerseys that they had. DeYoung, I guess, with out a nickname, but he went with DeYoung on the back.
I think those were the 2 boys that we saw out in front of the stadium today with those pink hats.
Oh, that's right. They came and said hello to you, and you gave him an autograph.
And yourself and the cat.
Yeah. Mom and Dad look tired. It's been a long day. And Fowler hits it out of play.
I think every mom and dad is tired at the end of the day when you got kids that age.
You are to be commended. A lot of people come up to you before and after games, and you're always willing to sign and take a picture, and I mean that sincerely. That's good stuff. A swing and a miss by Fowler. So Greg Holland, the answer to our question. He's coming in the 9th. And here we go in a 5-2 game. keys of the game. Miles Michaelis, another 7 innings this evening, and Jimmy very, very good again.
Yeah, you know you're having a good day when you see the frustration of the hitters over and over and over. And he did a great job of moving the ball around, throwing strikes, keeping the hitters off balance.
His last 3 starts, 21 innings. Look at that, only 2 walks, 17 strikeouts. And if Greg Holland can pick up the save, his first as a Cardinal, Michaelis goes to 4-0. Or Chevy called to the pen. First save opportunity for Holland. And he gets Corey Dickerson. Dickerson drives it into the gap in right center field. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Pirates. A 2-hit night for the Pirates left fielder.
Fastball up. Just trying to go out there and get ahead with a 3-run lead, and the hitters know that. Not a whole lot you can do there. Get the ball down just a tad, but this is the big leagues, man. When the guys are hitting, they're ready to hit, you get a fastball to hit, they're going to be all over it.
Francisco Cervelli. 2 hits to right field, grounded into a double play back in the 6th. Holland had 41 saves a year ago with Colorado. The runner at second is Corey Dickerson. Good speed there in the 0-1 pitch. Make it 0-2. Cervelli didn't like it. Hitless in 3 at-bats against the Cardinal right-hander. There's that slider, and again, at times we've noticed Holland kind of get underneath it. Don't have that bite.
It's like he's almost has a little bit of a sideways one, and I don't know if it's because he's getting underneath it, and then he's got the one that goes down, and they have a different break, obviously, but they also have a different. Some of them have a different speed. One gets more break.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Reaching for it, and a base hit into right field, and the tying run will come to the plate. And things just got interesting here in the ninth. Remember, still on the bench, Diaz, the backup catcher for the Pirates, as well as the former Cardinal David Freese. Runners at first and third. Colin Moran was hit by a pitch, grounded out, and struck out.
I'm going to have to say that this guy's going to get hit by the pitch a few more times in his career. His elbow is a third of the way over the plate. Kind of stands there nice and quiet, and then all of a sudden it just kind of creeps out there.
And the Cardinals want to go in here. Boy, you're right. Pitch was about halfway, and his elbow was about halfway over the plate.
And it's not like he's leaning. He just is a big guy with long arms, and that reminds you of like left-handed Chris Bryant, where he's just kind of arms, elbows are out there, and probably a good reason why he's got that elbow guard on his elbow.
The 1-1 pitch. The slider taken down and in. Moran is grounded into 2 double plays. Cardinals would exchange that run for a double play and those 2 outs here.
Moran reminds me of the lefty for the White Sox, the first baseman who used to. They quit early because the son wouldn't go in the clubhouse.
LaRoche.
LaRoche, yeah.
There's your ground ball under the glove of Martinez. A run will score. Cervelli advances to third. And still nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. The second error on Jose Martinez. And now the winning run comes to the plate.
Good slider right there, gets the ground ball. See if he doesn't look at home before he catches it. Head popped up just a little bit. Runner at third base. Started down the line and it couldn't help but look at him. Same thing that happened in the first inning, I think it was, at third base for the Pirates. Kind of just have a little bit of peak. Don't quite get all the way down and catch the ball.
Chad Kuhl, a pitcher, is now the runner at first base. Here's Jordy Mercer in strike 1. You can just see it happening there. Martinez a little ahead of himself.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's always, what am I going to do with the ball? You know, sometimes first base is the easiest position to play until guys get on base, because then you're so close to the action. People are moving. You're going to have to throw the ball somewhere. The rest of the infielders are used to that. You know, they're always on the move. They're always throwing the ball to second or over to first. So much action going on, especially at first and third, and being so close to the hitter. Things happen quick.
1 ball and 1 strike. Jordy Mercer. One and 2. Lions. The lefty is up. Dominic Leone up for the second time. The 1-2 pitch. Fourteen pitches in the inning. Moroff is the batter at the on-deck circle. The 2-2 pitch.
Got to get a ground ball right here. Get a ground ball double play and you're in good shape. Even if the run scores. Got a 5-4 lead, 2 outs in the ninth. Looking pretty good.
Mercer is grounded into 1 double play this year.
Infield pretty much straight up. Little pinch to the middle. Looking for that double play ball.
The 2-2 pitch. Well, if he loses him here, I would think Mike Matheny has to go to his bullpen. can't stick around much longer as you wait for Holland to get right.
Slider looks a little different tonight. A little less break, a little less sharp. Got to remember, he's still kind of in the middle of spring training.
3-2, driven out to center field. Pham is back at the wall, and it's off the wall. A run will score. Pham misplayed it in center, and now here comes another one. And the game is tied at 5. Pham went back on it and then struggled to pick it up, and that allowed the runners to advance.
That slider right there, that ball really carried. I think Tommy thought it was going to carry that far. There you go again. See his head peek up. Worried about where the runners are going. And then he goes down to get it again. Little glance again, doesn't pick up the ball. I try to teach my kids, even at their age, a young age, got to catch the ball first before you can throw people out. Tommy just peeked really quick and missed the ball.
Well, there's options here for Mike Matheny. One, do you keep Holland in the game? Secondly, do you think about loading the bases up and having a force play everywhere? Or do you just roll the dice and Max Moroff coming up, a lefty, and then you deal with the top of the lineup, and that will be it for Greg Holland. 5-5 here in the bottom of the ninth, and Holland is not able to record an out. Line here in the bottom of the ninth, a game that the Cardinals seemingly had. 5-2 going into the bottom of the ninth, and now 5-5, runner at third and nobody out.
You still got your hands full. I think this is a tough call right here. You got one out, no outs. Guy on third. You start walking guys, you're getting into the heart of their order. If you don't walk guys, you're taking away that force play.
So Dominic Leone with the infield in. Max Moroff. And the first pitch is strike. I mean, your outfielders, well, they might be playing too deep right now.
They're definitely too deep.
The game's on the line. Can't throw anybody out where they're at.
I feel like as my career got further along, kind of got away from playing in super shallow in this situation. I don't have any idea why. I came up through the minor leagues and they almost wanted you. I mean, there were some times with my arm, they were asking us to play like right behind the infield, and I said, you know, you can throw guys out from middle of center field to get a running start, but
not where they're at.
Not where they're at, no.
The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. The error on Pham, his first of the year. After the double hit by Jordy Mercer that drives in 2. The 2-1 pitch. Here's Pham coming in, makes the catch, and a strike to the plate.
Looks like we don't know what we're talking about. And they do.
No, that's exactly though what you were talking about. Where
that's the ball right there.
Right.
Yeah. I thought he hit that ball a little bit harder. I thought this was game over right here. Tommy does a nice job of coming to get this ball. Gets it in, and what a great throw. I thought they were going to challenge him.
So now it's David Freese, the former Cardinal, a chance to haunt his former team. David Freese is so good at going to right field. We saw that time and again. And the Cardinals elect not to pitch to him and set up the potential of a double play. Now, you have Gregory Polanco coming up. Does Mike Matheny now want to go to his lefty? It's something certainly he's got to consider. And here he comes. Leone comes in, gets Moroff to fly to center. And now it's Tyler Lyons in to face Gregory Polanco, who is 4 for 13. With a double, he has struck out twice and walked twice. It's the intentional pass to David Freese. The Cardinals defense has let them down with 2 errors here in the 9th. Holland not sharp again. And that's what you get in Major League Baseball. Teams make you pay.
Just too many outs. Too many outs given away. You're right. It's tough. Tough on the pitching staff.
Polanco is grounded into 1 double play this year. Very good speed. I think of concern for the Cardinals with Lyons is that at times this year, what has been a swing and miss breaking ball hasn't quite been there consistently that it was a year ago. You leave that up or out, and Polanco will do some damage. The corners are in, middle infield about midway in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch, and it's 1-2.
I know this rule's getting old, but this is where this breaking up a double play, old school baseball, is so was
huge,
so important.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the runner bearing down on you.
You're playing in the past. Your entire dugout is yelling at you at first base. You better get down and break up the double play.
One ball and 2 strikes. Polanco strikes out. What a job here by Tyler Lyons, and 1 to go. And Mike Matheny with Starling Marte coming up will go back to his pen. Great job here by Tyler Lyons.
It's that slider you were talking about.
That was a good one. It'll be Matt Bowman when we come back to face Marte. Trying to pull off a Houdini act to get to the 10th. Our Chevy called to the pen, and it's Matt Bowman. The Pirates had a runner at third, nobody out, and that runner being the winning run. And Leone got a shallow fly ball by Maroff, and then it was an intentional pass to Freeze. Polanco strikes out, and here's Starling Marte against Matt Bowman. Left in the Cardinals pen, it's Hicks, Gregerson, and Myers. And Myers would be your long man in a situation in extra innings. Josh Bell at the on-deck circle.
I think Myers is secretly hoping he doesn't have to throw 3 innings tonight.
Well, we've seen what happens when you throw a solid 3 innings here lately. You get
on the shuttle.
Ticket back to Memphis. Got 5 career walk-off hits for Starling Marte. We saw Luke Gregerson pitch yesterday. Velocity hit 89 tops, and his control was not there. Jordan Hicks makes you wonder about his availability tonight. Not in a game like this. Here's a 1-1. And we're not privy to that. You know, Mike will not tell us who is ready to roll or matchups. And for good reason. You can understand why. The other team's watching broadcasts and they can hear us talking about potential matchups late. So not privy to anything in that regard, that nature. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Bowman a strike away from sending us to the 10th. The next to Marte, and time called and granted late. That's the winning run there. Jordy Mercer at third base. And the 1-2 pitch. Hit out of play. Marte against Bowman. A strikeout, a walk, 0 for 2 in his brief time facing the Cardinal right-hander. Outfield is straight away and deep. One ball, 2 strikes, and the next. He got him! What a job by the bullpen. They send us somehow to the 10th. Incredible work. Leone, Lyons, Bowman, 5-5. Is Felipe Vasquez, formerly known as Felipe Rivero, who is a terrific left-hander, a closer, nasty stuff. Our Chevy called to the pen. He changed his name. He's very close to his sister, and her last name Vasquez, and as an ode to her, he changed his name for personal reasons. Signed a deal in the offseason. He calls himself Vasquez, so that's what I call him. David Freese stays in the game. He's at third base. And the Cardinals have Jose Martinez, Marcell Ozuna, and Yadier Molina coming up. What a job moments ago by the Cardinals pen. A seemingly impossible situation to get out of, but they did. So Freese at third base, and Martinez will lead it off. 2 errors for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th, and the Pirates made him pay. Well, this lefty has a very good fastball, a slider. But one thing we've noticed about Jose Martinez, you groove a fastball, it doesn't matter how fast. He could turn on that pitch as well as anybody. He got it there and tried to. Looked like that pitch, though, at 87. But definitely trying to take it out of the park. Cardinals went 13 innings yesterday. Got him. 3 pitches and the strikeout.
Scouting report there, huh? Those 96.
Oof.
He didn't see one single fastball.
Cardinals have struck out collectively tonight 10 times. Ozuna with 3 base hits tonight. 0 for 4 though against this lefty. 98 on the gun. You've talked about it before. Someone that throws this hard, you try to shorten up. Let the velocity be the power with the bat.
Easy to say, tough to do.
You bet. Popped up to the right side. Josh Bell, foul territory, makes the catch. And there's 2 away. And a pitch taken down and in by Molina.
'96 right there. I tell you what, some kind of arm. He's thrown. This is be the 3rd day I think in a row that he's thrown. Be able to still bring in 97, 98. Pretty impressive.
This lefty loaded the bases, nobody out, and was able to pitch out of the jam. And that's ripped out to left field, and the catch is made. And a hard hit ball off the bat of Molina. Slams the bat down in frustration. Bell, Dickerson, Cervelli coming up. pitch out to center that allowed the Cardinals to at least keep the runner at third. Then the strikeout of Polanco. The first pitcher was Dominic Leone, and then Starling Marte, the strikeout by Matt Bowman. So left on the bench for the Cardinals, Garcia, Bader, O'Neill, and the backup catcher Pena. Gregerson, Hicks, Myers left for the Cardinals in the bullpen. There's Josh Bell, good power. Although only one home run, it's come from this side of the plate. And right now, for Mike Matheny and the Cardinals, a couple of things with Greg Holland. One, wasn't sharp again. When can you get him into games to get him right? And in his defense, to a point, some poor defense behind him, which didn't help. But still, those were hard hit balls against him.
And he come in and got the ground ball. You're right. Taught to get some ground balls and get out of the inning. A couple of sliders that didn't break. It's just been one thing after another for him. And like I said, it's still going to be a break-in period with not having a spring training. So I always just think I like to be able to hear at the end of the game or talk to guys like that, ask them like, how do you feel? Like, where do you think you're at? So maybe the cat can get some info and see where he's at. Check that out in the post game.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's tapped foul by Bell. Bell had a 3-run homer, a walk-off in the first meeting of these two at PNC Park last year. Wound up being a 5-2 win.
You got to remember, I think that Holland also has been on the upswing. You know, he had a couple of good outings. They weren't, we're so used to seeing closers be legit closers. It's not that easy.
Nice play by DeYoung. I made the point earlier, prior to tonight, Greg Holland had 4 straight scoreless outings, 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So the numbers were there to say, hey, put him in this spot.
Well, and like you said, you had the double play ball.
Well, again, I mean,
changes everything.
If the play is made by Martinez, we're probably back at the team hotel. But that's baseball.
Or still walking across the bridge.
So 1 out. And here's Corey Dickerson. But I think on the flip side, you know, looking at it in both ways, sliders got to be a little bit better.
I think we're so critical because you got to get the job done. And there's so many different ways to get it done, you know. Everybody wants the outcome.
Corey Dickerson with a double and a single tonight. A sac fly back in the 6th. Good pitch. Look at this tail away and down.
It's nice single fastball right there.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. And lost in all this would have been win number 4 for Miles Michaelis, who was tremendous again tonight. The 2-1 pitch. And it's now 3-1. Tomorrow we're on the air at 5:30 St. Louis time. Jack Flaherty and Trevor Williams. Williams off to a good start, 3-1. And for Flaherty, it'll be his 2nd start of the season. The 3-1 pitch. Ground ball left side. And Jerko with the play. 2 outs. Flaherty and Williams. And then we'll see Luke Weaver go on Sunday. On the air tomorrow, 5:30. Sunday at noon, St. Louis time, in this brief 3-game road trip. Here's Francisco Cervelli, a 3-hit night, also grounded into a double play. The Cardinals looking ahead to the 11th inning would have DeYoung, Jerko, and Wong. A ball and a strike. Cardinals had a lead of 5-0. The Pirates picked up 2 runs in the 6th and tied it up in the bottom of the 9th. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Only position player left is Diaz, their backup catcher, and he's at the on-deck circle. And he would pinch hit for Vasquez. And now the winning run is aboard, a 2-out walk. And it brings in Elias Diaz. They had the double switch with Moroff, then Rodriguez, Freese, and Diaz. Now all have been used, so the Pirates out of position players. And Bowman trying to send us to the 11th. The Cardinals, I would think, feel fairly comfortable going in extra innings, despite the fact they had 13 yesterday. Mike Myers should be able to give you multiple innings, and Myers was absolutely outstanding in spring training, but then seldom used after making the club. That ball scoots away from Molina. That puts the potential winning run in scoring position. The outfielder's taking a step or two a little bit further in. Cervelli, not great speed at second base, something to keep in mind. The second time this year the Cardinals have played in back-to-back extra inning games. Did that in the 9th and 10th against Milwaukee. The 1-1 pitch, pulled foul. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Hit out of play. He's got some pop, but all they need is a base hit. Wong, the second baseman, trying to keep Cervelli close to the bag. Here's a 1-2. Just missed on the outside corner. He evens it up at 2-2. And missed again outside. And Jordy Mercer had the big double in the bottom of the ninth that tied the game up, is at the on-deck circle. 5-5 our score. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the winning run at second base. Some anxious moments here in this ball game in late April. But how many times have we said it? And I think of Chris Carpenter, who, by the way, may be watching. Happy birthday to Chris. But he would talk about it all the time. The importance of games in April and what it means in September. Very easy to say, well, it's early. Let's see if he goes with a fastball away. He went in. And it's runners at first and second. So back-to-back walks. And the batter will be Jordy Mercer. Back in the ninth inning, a ball that was hit off the wall. And then Tommy Pham had a little bit of an issue picking it up, and that allowed the runners to advance. Right there, little hiccup, his first error of the season. And with that, a couple of runs come in to score, and the Pirates had tied it up. But let's give the bullpen after that a lot of credit. Runner at third, nobody out. Leone, Lyons, and Bowman got out of that jam. There's Jordan Hicks. And Hicks just got up.
I don't know if Carpenter's watching this game, but I do know big number 50 is paying close attention to this game.
I'm sure he is. Good pitch right there. Late action, little cutter slider.
Right there, hitter knows Bowman's got a good sinker. Thinking along with that sinker and getting the slider.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. The winning run at second base. Outfield is straight away. And the 1-1 to Mercer. Outside. Well, if Mercer gets on via the walk, you wonder if Mike Matheny then goes to Jordan Hicks with the bases loaded and put the pressure on the young man. Ideally, of course, a clean inning to start would be preferable in the next inning in the 11th. Hit out to right and out of play. All right, you've got him at 2-2. What pitch are you thinking about here if you're Matt Bowman?
You're going to have to ask Matt Bowman that one. You know, the thing that he's got going for him is he's got the good sink on the fastball. So if he makes a good pitch with it, it ends up being unhittable because it dives out of the strike zone. And if you make a good pitch with the slider because of that sinker, pitcher's got to be ready for the sinker. So it's either choice right here for me is good. It's just that you still got to make a quality pitch.
Two and two. The next in the dirt.
See, I go back to, without trying to second guess, the first walk with the 3-1 count on the slider. The only thing that does for me is now that puts a little extra pressure because now the winning run is out there, and now you have to just be a little bit more careful with each pitch you throw. Turn that into another walk, trying to be careful. And it's the mentality. It's why this game is so good and so tough, because with every little detail that goes on, it just puts more pressure on everyone.
Runners off with the pitch, the 3-2, and he got him. A strikeout for Bowman. Nice work by Matt Bowman. DeYoung, Jerko, and Wong coming up. Scoreless 8th inning Wednesday night against Detroit. And he has been used primarily as the setup man. 7th, 8th innings for the Pirates. It's our Chevy Cole to the pen. Former Giant is 1-2. ERA just over 4. And the batter will be Paul DeYoung. Cardinals shortstop, and then Jed Jerko and Colton Wong. Cardinals have used Matt Carpenter off the bench. Still left Bader, O'Neill, Greg Garcia, Francisco Pena. So in terms of position players, the Cardinals in good shape. Matt Bowman, by the way, 34 pitches, the second most he has thrown this year. We'll see if the Cardinals go back to the bullpen for the bottom of the 11th. 5-5 our score. And the next two DeYoung. Paul has struck out a couple of times. Popped out. Reached on an error back in the 4th inning and came around to score. The sac fly by Colton Wong. The 1-1 pitch. Hit to third. There's David Freese. Steps in, throws, and makes the play. Jed Jerko with a home run back in the third, his second of the year. Walked in the fourth, struck out in the sixth, and again in inning number 8. He is 1 for 10 against this right-hander with a couple of Ks. Strike one. Jordan Hicks continues to throw. If you get him up, you want to bring him in the game. Talked to Mike Matheny about that the other day. The Cardinals will be extremely cautious throughout the summer about watching how much he throws in the bullpen and just getting loose. Sometimes often overlooked. Doing this, airing it out, getting hot, getting ready. And they chart all those pitches of every reliever. But in particular, they're going to be cautious with the young arm of Jordan Hicks. Contos was picked up at the tail end of last season from San Francisco as he appeared in 65 games. He was 1-6. ERA that registered at 3.39. Good pitch there.
Good slider right here. I think Jed definitely thinking homer, definitely thinking fastball. Gotta let it go once in a while. It's a good spot. You were ahead in the count. Just guess wrong.
Went back with it and he stayed away.
You're just looking to drive the ball into right field. Get yourself a base hit and get something started.
Kind of power that Jerko has. He can strike at any point. Let's see if he gets a fastball here on 3-2. If he does, may see some damage. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And it's a walk. Good at bat by Jed Jerko. There's some tough pitches to lay off of.
It's a good at bat. You said take your swing and get to 2 strikes, and then you got to shorten up. And he did a good job of laying off those same pitches. Shorten up just enough. You recognize more pitches. You take the borderline sliders that are balls.
And now it's Colton Wong. 5-5 the score. Cervelli out to visit. You do get an extra mound visit in extra innings. Greg Garcia has moved to the on-deck circle for the Cardinals. Garcia would be the pinch hitter for Bowman, and then you'd have Hicks ready to go for the bottom of the 11th. And Hicks would be somebody that you'd look at as the Cardinals will have Bader run. But Hicks is the kind of guy that would be not just 1 inning. You could get multiple innings out of him as well. So Bader will pinch run. Garcia is at the on-deck circle, and here's Colton Wong. And a strike to Wong, coming off a very good homestand, which included a home run.
Looked like that pitch was off the plate. Would have given Bader a chance to run here. 1-0 by Colton. Another fastball for a strike, but not the way it worked out.
Bader is running, and that's driven out to right. Polanco, though, makes the catch, and this will turn into a double play. Stung the ball into right. No doubles defense. He was back deep anyway, and Bader doubled up. 6 strikeouts for a guy that, you know, we make so much of velocity in the game of baseball and power, and a young man that's hit 102 on the gun. But what it tells you, he's got good sink, good movement, gets a lot of ground balls. Max Morov, the switch hitter. Then we'll see David Freese and Gregory Polanco. Greg Garcia into the game at third. There's that sink right there at 101. The breaking pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. You talk about the importance of games early on. Well, here in the month of April, the Cardinals will play 18 games against their division this month, the most of any month during this entire regular season. And it's 102 on the gun here at the ballpark. 101 you see at home. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he carved him up, struck him out.
That's nasty right there.
Sure is.
That is a lot of movement for 100 miles an hour. Watch this pitch go down and away.
Wow, what movement there. You know, as a hitter, Jimmy, you can speak to this. I mean, you got to gear up for triple digits, and then he's all of a sudden got movement.
Yeah, I was just saying, probably the reason for strikeouts is not sneaking up on anybody. He's probably not super deceptive with the long arm and velocity, but that kind of movement, that stuff's untouchable right there.
David Freese against the Cardinals, 31 games and a 283 average, couple of homers, and is driven in 13. Mentioned earlier, David so adept at taking a pitch to right field, and this would be the kind of guy he'd do it against. Hard thrower. And the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pretty much straight up on the infield. Garcia close to the line at third. And the outfield is straight away and deep. The 2-1 pitch. Upstairs and a ball to David Freese. So again, the winning run is on, and that's David Freese. We were talking about the Cardinals drafts earlier and how well they have done in selecting after round 1 and in the subsequent rounds in trying to find those hidden gems. And Jordan Hicks was the 105th overall pick in 2015. It's not only the draft, but then developing. Gary LaRocque and his staff do such a wonderful job of that. That's the third. You know, Hicks has got to be tough to catch. When you're throwing that hard, that's a third ball that's gotten away from Molina here.
Especially with the movement. And
yes.
Then usually down in the zone and then zips one up in the zone. The ball is just jumping on Yachty. But you also see, too, when you miss by that much, it's tough on the catcher, especially at 100 miles an hour.
Winning run in scoring position, David Freese. The Ric Flair Woo phenomenon
lives on.
It's found its way here to Pittsburgh as Mike Maddox is out to visit. Maybe just to slow him down a little bit.
good job right here by Maddox. I noticed the last couple pitches, it looked like he was pushing the ball a little bit. It's pretty effortless when you see the 100-mile-an-hour 101 come out of his hand. It looked like he tried to hump up a couple times, and the velocity went down. So it shows you that he got a little tight by trying to overthrow. And I think when you're watching this game, as long as these guys do, and Maddox sees that too and goes out there maybe trying to slow him down.
Starling Marte at the on-deck circle. 2 balls, no strikes on Polanco. Hit sharply to Wong. Nice play with the soft hands of Colton Wong. He's shaking his head, but he made the play. To Starling Marte. Marte, 1 hit, an infield hit back in the 6th inning. 1 for 5 on the night. And because of the issues that Molina has had with Hicks, you know, it comes into play now with the runner at third base.
That's why I said, like, going back even to that slider for the walk and putting guys on base, it just makes everything more sensitive. And now you definitely got to be careful of a pass ball or wild pitch, more or less.
Sometimes you watch with Hicks on the mound, guys just don't get very comfortable swings. One ball, 1 strike. Two and 2.
Really good pitch right there to Marte. I think that's the pitch you got to beat him with right here. I'm sure he's probably going to go soft.
Into center field, and this game is over. Marte, the base hit, Freese scores. Pittsburgh wins it in 11, 6-5. A game in which the Cardinals at one point had a lead of 5-0. They led 5-2 going into the 9th. And they lose it 6-5 in 11.
So really good job of hitting right here by Marte. You want to see what 2-strike hitting is all about? That's 2-strike hitting with a guy throwing 102 miles an hour. Slider out over the plate. Slap it into center field for the win.
The 7th career walk-off hit for Starling Marte. A disappointing night for the Cardinals here in Game 1. It's off to the post-game show. 6-5 the final.